Today, the word tiara is often used interchangeably with the word diadem, and tiara is often translated to a word similar to diadem in other languages. Both words came from the head ornament worn by ancient men and women to denote high status. The word tiara is actually Persian in origin. The name first denoted the high peak headdress of the Persian kings, which were encircled by diadems. Now, it is used to describe almost every form of decorative head ornament. Ancient Greeks and Romans used gold to make a rat-shaped head ornament, while the Centaceans resembled a steep hollow that would serve as an inspiration for later Russian kokoshnik. But by the 1920s, the tiara and similar tiara headband became popular in the United States. At number 10, the Phoenix Mikomoto Tiara, also formerly known as Mikomoto Crown, is a pageant crown worn by Miss Universe title holders from 2000 to 2007 and also in 2017. The crown was made by the Mikomoto Pearl Company in Toba, Mei Prefecture, Japan, and was designed by the Japanese artisan Tomohiro Yamaji in 2000. This is one of the most exclusive crowns used in Miss Universe organization, which was preceded and modernized by different design of the traditional lady crown used since 1970s. Among the beauty pageant connoisseur, the crown is highly reputed as one of the most iconic crowns sold by the beauty pageant and title holders. At number 9, the Luxembourg Empire Tiara. It can be easily argued that the Luxembourg Empire Tiara is the granddaddy or the grandmammy of all of them. It simply towers and glowers in bling. This monument of all the glitters first appeared in 1919 when the reigning Grand Duchess Charlotte married Prince Felix of Bourbon-Parma. In order to create this rampant of diamonds, it is generally believed that the two sets of jewels from two different parts of the family were pulled in to construct it. Personally, I believe they took both Elizabeth and Hilda's gem and reconstructed them into the Luxembourg Empire Tiara back because there is no record of the tiara prior to 1919 royal wedding. Grand Duchess Charlotte wore the tiara on the important occasion during her reign including the day she abdicated the throne. She turned the throne over to her son, Jean, and the tiara over to the daughter-in-law Josephine Charlotte, the new Grand Duchess at that time. The current owner, Maria Theresa, did not use it out of respect of her beloved mother-in-law. Maria Theresa waited out of respect of the Dowager Josephine Charlotte until she wore it. Number 8 on the list, the Kiev of Egypt Tiara. Made by Cartier, this diamond ornament was a gift to Princess Margaret of Kanu when she married the Crown Prince Gustav Adolf of Sweden in 1905 from the Kiev of Egypt. A fitting gift as the couple had first met in the Kiev's country. It was also used as a flexible stomacher or an ornament of sorts, as such shown in the original sketch of the princess' wedding gift, and was worn by her in the portrait shown. When Margaret died in 1920, her daughter Princess Ingrid inherited the piece. She brought it with her when she married Crown Prince Frederick of Denmark and eventually became Queen of Denmark. It remained in her personal property until she passed away in 2000. And every female descendant of Ingrid has worn the tiara for their wedding ever since Queen Anne Mary in 1964. Nonetheless, the Portland Sapphire Tiara. If you're feeling worthy, you can call this baby the Portland Antique Sapphire, Diamond and Natural Pearl Tiara. It is indeed composed of sapphires, Burma and Ceylon, diamonds and pearls. Specifically, there are 12 clusters of cushion-shaped sapphires and gold-cut diamonds set in the circlet of diamond husk and swag. The tiara is bordered with diamonds and pearls and sapphire accent, and the whole thing is mounted in silver and gold. Its inner circumference measures about 54 centimeters. Our Portland name comes from the tiara's family. Of course, the tiara was created by E. Wolf and Corporation for Garrard shortly after William Gavin Bentinck, the 6th Duke of Portland, married Windelfred Dallas York in 1899. In the true tradition of owning jewels for use and wear instead of museum-like adoration, this tiara is a composite of other family jewels that were broken down to create it. A matching stomacher penetrates the tiara and may have served as a design for inspiration. Number 6 on the list, the Baltimore Tiara. On the advice of the Deputy Master of the Household Patrick Plunkett, this tiara was acquired for Princess Margaret prior to her official announcement on her engagement to Anthony Armstrong Jones. The tiara was originally made by Gerard for Florence Lady Baltimore, wife of the 2nd Baron Baltimore in the 1870s. It was auctioned by the 4th Baron Baltimore in 1959 and was purchased for about £5,500 during at that time. The tiara is an all-around diamond affair set in gold, silver, in which cluster of caution shape and old-cut diamonds are set among the scroll of Moffitt's top with diamonds. Margaret wore the necklace and brooch forms of the tiara prior to her wedding and wore it in 1959, but the tiara's grandest debut was on her wedding day. It was certainly a strategically chosen accessory. The height of the princess' own tiny frame and the opulence of the full circlet was well countered by the divine simplicity of her wedding assemblage. Number 5 on the list, the Grand Duchess Vladimir Tiara, also known as the Grand Duchess Maria Pavlovna of Russia, wife of the Grand Duke of Vladimir Alexandrovich, was the aunt of Tsar Nicholas II, who was murdered alongside his family in 1918 by the Bolshevik. The Grand Duchess Vladimir was the grandest of the Grand Duchess of the Royal Court, and she was no fan of the Tsar's wife Alexandria, so she packed up her magnificent jewels collection and set up a rival court at which she could properly dazzle. One of her most dazzling pieces was this tiara of 15 intertwined diamond circlets among together with a diamond ribbon on top and hung with the articulating pendant pearls, made in 1874 by Bolin, the Russian court jeweler. She hid this wonderful example of intricate Russian craftsmanship in the vault of Vladimir Palace in 1918 when she fled St. Petersburg in the wake of the revolution. It remained hidden away until a friend of the family, who happened to be a member of the British Secret Service, smuggled the jewels out of Russia for the Grand Duchess, tucked away just in a plain bag. With her jewels finally returned to her, she split them among the children before passing away in Paris in 1920. This tiara went to her daughter, Princess Nicholas of Greece. Princess Nicholas of Greece sold her jewels to benefit both her family and the Russian charities. She sold this one in 1921 to Queen Mary. Queen Mary subsequently had some repairs completed, as the journey hadn't been kind to fine craftsmanship. It was inherited by Queen Elizabeth on Mary's death in 1953, along with the rest of the remaining jewel collection. And number 4 on the list, the Malaria Sapphire Tiara. One of the big guns, so to speak, in the Dutch royal collection is the massive sapphire tiara. It includes the 655 South African diamonds, now set in a platinum. There are 33 sapphires nestled at the bottom of the diadem, like stained glass windows beneath the Gothic arches and the sparkliest cathedral ever. Adding into the sparkle factor, some of the stones are embedded, meaning they are on springs so that they can move with the wearer and the creator with a maximum amount of reflection. The tiara was purchased in 1881 by King Wilhelm III of Netherlands for his wife Queen Emma. It seems to have skipped over Emma's daughter, Queen Wilhelmina, and was next worn by Emma's granddaughter, Queen Juliana. Today it is worn by Juliana's daughter, Queen Beatrix. In the course of its history, the tiara has gained some of its perpetual. A massive necklace and 2 erroneous bracelets were added, and a brooch were also from Emma's collection is usually named as part of the parure as well. Was chosen by Queen Maxima to wear to King Wilhelm Alexander's inauguration way back in April 30, 2013. She made a change to the center of the top of the tiara, to the lower and the central element. She also wear hair back, so the sapphires appear in a way they never did when Beatrix wore them as a diadem. And number 3 on the list, the Danish Ruby Parure Tiara. When Denmark's crown princess attends the glittering events like the royal wedding, state banquets, or the annual New Year's court, she often wears a distinctive tiara of rubies and diamonds. The tiara isn't only beautiful, it has an amazing backstory that travels back 2 centuries to France and the extravagant imperial coronation of Napoleon Bonaparte. After Napoleon was declared Emperor of France, he knew he needed to have the coronation worthy of his new position, and one that would show the world that his empire was legitimate and important. Outfitting the marshals and their wives in splendid finery, Napoleon thinks it would help emphasize the power of the imperial court. Accordingly, he gave each of the marshals a large amount of money to purchase jewels for their wives to wear at Notre Dame during the coronation, and one of these men was Jean-Baptiste Bermond, both a ruby and diamond tiara accompanying a purple for his wife Desiree Clary, and he wore it on that historical day. This couple would become later King Karl XIV Johann and Queen Desiree of Sweden, and the jewels found a new Swedish home. The tiara has been passed on between the Sweden and Denmark ever since, Queen Alexandria of Denmark to Queen Ingrid, and now to the Crown Princess Mary in the tiara that she wore all the time. The Fifi tiara is the second tiara on our list to hail from a noble family, but this time we have a royal beginning. It first belonged to Princess Louise of Wales, the oldest daughter of King Edward VII and Queen Alexandria. When she married Earl of Fifi in 1889, she received a quite a waterfall of sparkling present. This stunning tiara with a pear-shaped diamonds hanging freely in a diamond framework, topped with more pear-shaped diamonds alternating with round diamonds among them. It was thought to be the work of the Persian jeweler Oscar Mason. Her parents' gift is described as a classic convertible diamond fringed tiara. This tiara occasions for the Fifis are very rare, which is terribly sad for us jewelers. We can't see it all the time. This one is in movement, would be absolutely spectacular. Mounted in the gold and a set of silver, the largest diamonds freely articulate inside their diamond arches. That means that they would tremble with the tiniest movement of the wearer's head, capturing and reflecting the light constantly. And number 1 on the list, the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This tiara was one of the future Queen Mary's wedding present in 1893, and you'll never guess who gave it to her. It's the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland, specifically the committee of them chaired by Lady Eve Greville. The committee raised over £5,000 during at the time and was able to purchase the tiara from Garrard before donating the remainder of the funds to charity at the request of the princess. In 1947, Mary gave the tiara to her granddaughter, Princess Elizabeth, as a wedding present, who is said to be affectionately called it as a granny's tiara. Right away, the tiara occasions coming back in a vogue after the war. This became a frequent wear piece without the bandeau. It's nestled right in Elizabeth's never-changing hairstyle. And that is my personal bucket list of the fabulous and famous tiara. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.